A's Extra.
We're back in the Anglers Extra pregame show. The A's take on the Red Sox of Yarmouth Dennis here at Red Wilson Field. Joe Puccio here with Chatham manager Tom Holliday for the Manager Show. Tom, 2-0 win yesterday, and I guess we'll just go in chronological order for the pitching here. Brody Brecht, the starter, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
Very impressive. You know, you see that every now and then in this league. You'll see a guy, you go, "Ooh, man, that was really good," and he was a big leaguer. I mean, that's Alek Manoah. That's the kind of guy you were looking at last night. So maybe even better than Build. You know, I knew he was good. I knew he had a great arm, but I didn't know he had that kind of breaking ball command. But wow.
If you think it couldn't be topped, Matt Wilkinson came out with 5 innings, no hits, no runs.
Yeah. I've seen that before. Haven't seen it in a while. I've never seen a guy with that kind of deception, command, desire, that thing called magic. He can pitch. I mean, you don't get a chance to say that very often anymore because everybody's got great arms. They're not great pitchers. They have great arms. That kid last night threw 88, 89, touched 90, I think, once. But I've never seen so many swing and misses and dribbles, foul ball dribbles. So his deception and spin rate must be off the chart because, wow, that was like his biggest shutdown. And he drove me over the limit. I didn't want to let him go the 9th, but he was in such cruise control and having fun doing it. And that was kind of the thing after. I mean, 20 kids come in the ballpark last night. I don't know who they are, but they adopted him. And when it was over, they had fun with him. And the players had fun with him. So, you know, I guess maybe it's something to do with tugboat, being tugboat, but I'll take about 20 tugboats, let me tell you that.
I was talking to Brock Riley, assistant coach, before the game today, and he said that Chatham needed a bonding win to get some energy. Would you agree with that statement this early in the season?
Well, you don't want to go too long without getting a win. I mean, you know, you can learn how to lose, and you can learn how to accept losing. And, you know, we let the first one get away. You know, we blew a 6-run lead. In the second game, we weren't even in it until late in the game, and you can't do that. But when you pitch like that, you got to win. If you don't, then you start wondering, like, when are we or how are we? And we're not hitting the ball worth a hoot right now, but a lot of people don't. It's that get used to the wooden bat period. And we have some guys that, quite frankly, they might be in over their head. I mean, this is not a league for average players. That's all there is to it. And, you know, their guys last night shut us down pretty good, too. In fact, that's 2 games in a row we've been shut down pretty good. So, you know, obviously I'm looking for some offense tonight and some roster changes tomorrow. And that's not a threat. That's just kind of the way this thing unfolds. We have some guys coming that were built into the plan to be our offensive guys, and some of the guys that are standing in right now, maybe it's as good as they can be. So if it is, then I'll take it.
Tom Holliday here on the Manager Show, and Tom, we were talking about the offense. You're still trying to figure out all of the pieces to put in this puzzle. So what things do you look for in your position players in the early parts of the season?
I'm looking for guys that can give you a good at bat, that have an understanding of what baseball is. And I think we might have mentioned this the other day. We had 2 guys on in a kind of a tight game. We had second and third and 1 out. And in wood bat baseball, you got to score right there. But to score, you got to put it in play. You can't strike out right there. So if you don't like the term 2-strike approach, then you're going to have a hard time playing for me and a wooden bat, because you got to put it in play. You got to get them in. And I know a lot of times right now, guys don't understand that approach. People aren't even teaching that approach in some levels. They want them to swing. They want everybody to get their at-bats and see what happens. That's why striking out has become acceptable. It's not acceptable with me. So I'm looking for guys that can put in play. And if you're overmatched, then I have to make a move with you.
Today against YD, Eric Hammond gets the start, right-hander from Southern California. What have you seen in him this week?
Not much. I mean, I saw 1 bullpen, that's it. I just know Eric from high school was a power arm that could pitch in that Dallas area. And my nephew was a scout for the Dodgers and saw him, and kind of like a no-brainer. And then I put him on a roster, and he blows his elbow. Missed his freshman year with Tommy John, and I called him. I said, "Hey, man, when you're off that thing, I got a spot for you up here." And so he pitched this year, good, average, you know, somewhere in that range. and I kept my word that I would bring him back up here, and I did, and we'll find out tonight.
You're continuing a 10-game in 10-day stretch. How are you trying to conserve some of your players?
Yeah, I try to give a guy off here and there, and I don't have that many. I have 5 guys on the bench. You know, that's it. And pitching-wise, they just need to carry us. We're not going to run out of pitching. We're gonna make it through the 10-day stretch with arms. I'm more interested in who the men are that can play every day, because it's going to be a challenge for them.
That's Tom Holliday on the Manager Show. Tom, thanks for the time.
You bet.